everyone, and welcome back. Have you ever drawn or painted something that just didn't turn out as you envisioned it in your head, whether it be a positive or a negative outcome? Well, I definitely have. This painting of Katara on the left was done circa 2011 when I first got into watercolor paints. It was a super rushed paint job, and the paper and the paints that I used back then just weren't all that great. I used the Windsor and Newton Cotman paints and cheap Canson watercolor paper. I wouldn't even be able to tell you what weight of paper it was, just that it only worked okay. These were student grade supplies, so they're meant for practice, so yeah. Anyway, this Katara didn't turn out very well in my opinion. The initial sketch was amazing, also my opinion. I tried to find my sketchbook so that I could show you, but it's more than likely in storage. There's a much better flow in the movement, and in the sketch just had me super excited, but that movement and excitement didn't really translate well for the watercolor painting. So I've been wanting to redraw this for years now. So as you can probably tell, my style has changed quite a bit since 2011. So I had to remember that as I was drawing her face, particularly her lips and her eyes. Like I did back then just wasn't going to be a thing for me while drawing her now. So I had to loosen up a bit. Eventually, this new, older Fire Nation style Katara emerged, and I was quite happy with the initial sketch. So I started painting. Hoping that the paint process wouldn't ruin like the flow of her hair or the implied movement of her body. In my first video, I learned that this paper doesn't quite like when you layer, but it's very difficult for me to grasp that. So I made sure to have my hairdryer within reach for the sake of easing some of my concerns when the color would start to lift. I do have a lot of trouble with painting in purples, so I brought a violet watercolor pencil, and I actually found that this paper responded really well to watercolor pencils. I think I need to do an entire sketch just using watercolor pencils to test them out on this paper, see how that works. Her hair already looks so much better than it did in the original painting. There's much more life and movement in it. I also realized while painting that in the original painting I had the colors of her outfit reversed. So I had to change that, and it did end up looking a lot better. You'll see soon. I always liked the idea of drawing embellishments on characters, hence the earrings. Plus, Katara's Fire Nation outfit has always made me think of Princess Jasmine from Aladdin when Jafar had her captured. It's just such an iconic scene, and the color scheme is just amazing. Before painting, I kind of planned for the lighting to come in from the right side, so I tried using some phthalo blue in those spots, and I wasn't 100% happy with how it turned out, but I just kept working on it. Her right arm just would not allow proper build-up. I did find myself getting increasingly frustrated with the paper while working on this painting. I'm not sure if you can tell or not, but it was irritating. I did end up bringing out my Prismacolor pencils to help build up the skin complexion where the paint wouldn't stay. This paper is definitely not meant for full-fledged illustrations. Okay, so now that she's done and you can see them side by side, you can see that I rendered her face here a lot better than I did over here. What I do like from the original is that she seems a bit more confident and ready to fight. In the new one, it just looks like she's playing around, but she's prettier, so whatever. I like the fluidity of the water in the newer one compared to this one. I didn't even bother going darker in the skirt area because I kept fighting with the paper and its absorption of the pigment, so I just gave up. But I'm super happy with how her hair turned out in this redraw though. You can just tell that I rushed through the original painting. Granted, I was just learning how to work with watercolors, but that's no excuse. I didn't add the moon to the background because it just looks better without like a dark background or a big global object in the back. She seems to glow just fine on her own. Alright, so that's all for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and tell me what you think.